Well, guess who was right? We have confirmation that there is going to be a new World of Warcraft expansion announced at Gamescom. However, while I believe I was mostly right, I was slightly wrong because it is being announced on the 6th of August, not the 5th. That's actually good. Suits my day a lot better. Now, this video is mainly just to discuss some of the potential things and basically just putting it out there to get the news out to everyone so you all are sort of on the same page. A little bit less in the way of editing, probably, but we do indeed know that this expansion is going to be announced very quickly. In fact, a lot quicker after the launch of Warlords of Draenor than you may have thought. That expansion came out in November, and now it's August, and boom, we know about the new one. Warlords of Draenor was the shortest, well, probably will be. Obviously, they could drop everything and mess up their schedule, but if everything goes to a reasonable schedule, Warlords of Draenor will have been, by far, the shortest expansion this game has ever seen. We got two patches, patch 6.1, which contained pretty much nothing, and patch 6.2, which contained a new raid, which is pretty cool, a zone, which we should have got at launch, a bunch of Apexis areas, a bunch of half-arsed reputations, and the rest of it's basically just a damage scale. Now, all this time I've been saying that I think the reason why Warlords has been so content bare is because the man-hours are going somewhere else. They've got all those staff, they couldn't be working on nothing, it would have to be a new expansion, and, you know, the popular rumor was, hey, it could be Gamescom, and now we know that it is. Now, I would hazard a guess that we're going to see this expansion sooner rather than later, perhaps with a beta test, maybe before or slightly after BlizzCon. The reason why I say that is because we know patch 6.2 is indeed the final patch of Warlords of Draenor, so, I mean, they can't let that thing last for 9 or 10 months because there is just not the content in that patch to really go the distance. If I were to give a rough launch window, I'm going to say Q1 2016. That is perhaps a little bit optimistic, but overall, I think it's a pretty good bet. Now, in terms of what this expansion could be, well, we just yesterday, in fact, had that whole kerfuffle about the Council of Glades, or as I misspelt it, well, I suppose it's still pronounced Council, but anyway, yeah, Council of Glades. I thought it was fake. There was lots of stuff to suggest that it was fake. The MO Champion poster, Chod, definitely seems to think it's fake because he was poking fun at the fact that it was so easy to fake the version number on the client when everyone was saying, oh, it's the 7.0 on the servers, but they've got 500 stations at Gamescom. Right, what's going to be there? Is that going to be 500 Overwatches? Or is that going to be some Overwatches combined with a bunch of World of Warcraft testing or, you know, demo stations that are going to have whatever this expansion could be? The most credible thing, I suppose, that we have seen is this trademark for the Council of Glades. Now that you think about it, as much as I personally think the Dark Prophet or something in the South Seas would be the better way to go, we don't have a trademark for that, and while that trademark could be false, while there was that oddness about the customer number, maybe it could be. I mean, there have been times when people have seen a trademark and said, oh, that's just a bullshit trademark, and it's ended up being the case, and generally, there is one or two things that pops up. You know, you get a whole bunch of leaks and rumors before the expansion is announced, but you only really get one or two trademarks filed. Now, The Dark Below, that was different because it was indeed an expansion to Destiny, which is another Activision Blizzard title, and in terms of its filing, it probably would have been filed as some sort of massively multiplayer game, which would maybe make people think it was Warcraft. But no, we definitely know something's coming, and it seems like the most likely, if you were to be a betting person who would make the decision based on the rough evidence, it seems like Council of Glades is the most probable one. I'm not going to call it either way firmly, and they are just two theories. It could, of course, be the case that there is a lot of other stuff that Blizzard could have up their sleeves. It could be a completely different theme. If we look at what happened in patch 6.2, all we know is that Gul'dan has some sort of pact with the Legion, he fucks off through the portal, Archimonde trips over and dies, and, well, doesn't really die. Despite being killed in the Nether in Mythic mode, he just pops right back out again for the cinematic because lol continuity. So, yes, it's very hard to know where they will go. Are they directly going to follow on with all of that silly stuff with Gul'dan? Honestly, I don't think they will. I think they'll let that stew because Khadgar said, this isn't over, you know, Ural did her whole fucking cringeworthy spiel. but it seemed like they could maybe, you know, rebuild for 1 or 2 expansions while we do other things, and hopefully deal with characters that we actually care about. And not the sort of Draenor crowd. It's really just Yeril who sucks. The rest of the Draenor crowd are pretty decent, I suppose. But anyway, I'm going to end this video with just a quick little thing about the channel. So I'm going to be doing loads of just video content. Not loads, like a decent amount of video content talking about things leading up to we get this announcement, because it is going to be in about a week's time. However, I'm moving out of my house tomorrow. I'm moving into my office the day after that, and I'm moving into my other house 2 days after that, so it's going to be a little bit busy. I've got a video coming up. It should be the 20 main things that I want to see fixed up in this next expansion. I'm currently editing that, so that should come out tomorrow. I've got a video which compares the content of Warlords to the content of Wrath, because they're 2 very good examples, so there should be some fun stuff on the channel, and hopefully we get some more credible stuff in the way of just material to speculate with. Maybe we will get another trademark which will allow us to do quite a bit more in terms of, well, just what we think about with this expansion, and perhaps some of the guesses that we could make. Of course, on the 2nd, I am going to be on the Final Boss podcast. That is on twitch.tv. I'll probably throw up a graphic or something on this video, but I'll probably do a proper announcement video thingy once that's actually like going to go live that day. But that should be pretty fun. We'll probably mention this expansion announcement stuff, but we will mainly be talking about Warlords of Draenor. That's the overall purpose. It's kind of a rundown of that expansion. Anyway, that's been it for me. Leave your speculations down in the comments, and I will be back with more, well, more high-quality videos tomorrow and the near future. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.